September 14th of 1814. In September of 1814, just weeks after the British burned the U.S. Capitol, they decided to attack Baltimore, Maryland, which was the third largest city in America. On the way, they caught an elderly physician of Upper Marlboro. His name was Dr. William Beans, and the town feared that Dr. Beans would be hanged. So they asked a young lawyer, Francis Scott Key, to sail with Colonel John Skinner under a flag of truce to the British flagship Tennant to arrange a prisoner exchange. Now, the British had been packing the harbor with their ships, and these were formidable ships. These were huge, lots and lots of cannons, lots of soldiers. They had been sending their army to try to capture Baltimore. And just to give an idea of what they expected, when they were marching toward Washington, D.C. a few weeks earlier, the Americans just tucked tail and ran. And it was the biggest routing and fiasco and embarrassment to the American military. And so the British were like, these Americans are so easy to conquer. Well, luckily, Baltimore had dug a huge trench around the city, and so it was harder for the British to come in, but the main focus was on their Navy. And so they had their Navy in the harbor, and there was the Francis Scott Key going out with Colonel Skinner to try to arrange a prisoner exchange for Dr. William Beans. Concerned that their plans of attacking Baltimore would be discovered, the British placed Francis Scott Key and Colonel Skinner under armed guard aboard the ship HMS Surprise. Then they moved them to a sloop where they watched for 25 hours as 19 British ships continually bombarded the earthen Fort McHenry with rockets, mortar shells, and cannonballs. Now, this is the miraculous part. Fort McHenry is an earthen fort. If you've ever been there, it's on a prominent point sticking out into the bay, the Chesapeake Bay, and the earth is piled up with the wall, and then there's another wall, and then there's the fort and the buildings on the inside, and then, of course, the big flagpole with the American flag. Well, providentially, a thunderstorm, part of that same storm system that dumped the rain on Washington, D.C. to extinguish the fires that the British had set 2 weeks earlier, that same storm system moved, and it was now over Fort McHenry. Providentially, this thunderstorm dumped so much rain in such a short amount of time that the ground was so soft that most of the 1,800 cannonballs that the British had fired for 25 hours nonstop, most of those cannonballs sank in the mud instead of exploding or doing damage. And you can just picture the scene, because the people of Baltimore were told to extinguish every light and every candle in every window so the city would be completely pitch black, so that the British at nighttime firing their cannons wouldn't have anything to aim at. And they didn't have all the computers and satellite GPS that we have today. And so if it was pitch black, plus the smoke from the cannons going off, it was very difficult to see the city. So here, Fort McHenry, it's pitch black, and all you see is the lightning from the thunderstorm and these British cannons and bombs bursting in air. Well, on the morning of September 14th, 1814, through the dawn's early light, Francis Scott Key saw the flag still waving. Elated, he penned the Star Spangled Banner. Most people are familiar with the first verse, singing it at ball games, but there is a fourth verse to the Star Spangled Banner that had a further impact. And let me share that verse with you. It says, "Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved home and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that has made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. And the Star Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave."